In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college basketball games happening on March 1st, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Dayton versus Loyola Chicago. In what promises to be a highly anticipated matchup within the Atlantic 10, the number 21 Dayton Flyers are gearing up to face off against the Loyola Chicago Ramblers on a Friday night. Both teams find themselves in a dead heat for the second spot in the conference standings, trailing Richmond by a single game for the coveted top position. Dayton is coming off a convincing 80-66 victory against Davidson in their recent home game, where they demonstrated their prowess as 10.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, Loyola Chicago suffered a setback in their last outing, succumbing to St. Bonaventure on the road with a 79-64 defeat as 2.5-point underdogs. Notably, this marks the first and only encounter between these teams this season, with Dayton having swept the season series in the previous year. The Flyers' journey through the season has been characterized by a formidable 16-2 record in their initial 18 games, with defeats only handed to them by Northwestern and Houston. Subsequently, Dayton faced setbacks against Richmond and VCU in their next 5 games. However, they have since rebounded with a 3-1 run, securing victories against Duquesne, Fordham, and Davidson, albeit experiencing a loss to George Mason in this stretch. In the recent clash against Davidson, the Flyers established a commanding 40-21 lead in the first half, ultimately clinching an 80-66 win. Noteworthy is the balanced scoring effort, with all 5 starters contributing double-digit points and Kobe Bria leading the bench with 17 points. On the other side of the court, the Ramblers embarked on their season with a commendable 13-7 run in the initial 20 games. This positive momentum was followed by a 7-game win streak, featuring triumphs over St. Louis, Davidson, George Mason, George Washington, St. Joseph's, Rhode Island, and another victory against George Mason before encountering a setback against St. Bonaventure. In their recent encounter with St. Bonaventure, Loyola Chicago faced an uphill battle, trailing 41-26 after a challenging start in the first half. Despite maintaining a competitive pace with a 38-38 run in the remaining duration, they ultimately suffered a 79-64 defeat. Philip Alston led the team in scoring with 12 points and 3 rebounds in this losing effort. As the Ramblers and the Flyers find themselves tied for the second spot in the Atlantic 10 with a 12-3 record, just 1 game behind the leading Richmond, anticipation builds for their upcoming clash. Despite not having faced each other this season, Dayton holds the advantage with 2 victories against Loyola Chicago in the previous year. This regular season matchup stands as the lone meeting between the 2 teams, and interestingly, both squads boast a 15-12 against the spread record this season. Analyzing Loyola's offensive struggles against robust defenses, particularly evident in their earlier 56-point performance against Richmond, emphasizes the challenge they face. Furthermore, with the Flyers showcasing an average margin of victory of 12.5 points in their 4 road wins during conference play, their prowess on the road becomes a significant factor. Dayton, standing at 5-3-1 shillings on the road, remains motivated to enhance their league record, aiming for a secure spot in the NCAA tournament even if they fall short in the A10 tournament. Dayton's notable rankings, sitting at 25th overall in KenPom and 21st in the AP Top 25, coupled with their status as the sole A10 team seemingly destined for the NCAA tournament, elevate their standing. A key asset for Dayton is their 6-own future NBA player in the frontcourt, adding a dimension that Loyola Chicago lacks. This player, Holmes, leads the conference in scoring and ranks 3rd in rebounding, poised to make a significant impact on the national stage. Despite recent unexpected losses, Dayton remains a force, maintaining the 16th position in the nation in offensive efficiency. Loyola Chicago faces an uphill battle with their offensive struggles, ranking 183rd in the country. While they enjoyed a winning streak against weaker conference teams, they now encounter a formidable opponent in Dayton. The Flyers, driven by the desire to improve their league record, set their sights on securing a spot in the Big Dance if they fall short in the A10 tournament. The stage is set for an exciting clash as Dayton aims games to extend their dominance. In evaluating the betting landscape, the prevailing sentiment is that the line appears favorable for the superior team to cover, so the Dayton Flyers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Delving into the gameplay dynamics, Dayton's style is characterized by a deliberate pace, ranking among the slowest in the country, with the majority of their offense generated in the half court. This could potentially limit the Flyers' scoring potential in this upcoming matchup, especially against Loyola's staunch half-court defense, which holds opponents to 1 point per possession, ranking 35th nationally. Dayton, however, maintains a commendable defensive prowess, currently standing at the 3rd position in the A10 in defensive efficiency. Despite a slight dip in their efficiency over the last month, the Flyers exhibit discipline on the defensive end, leading the conference in free throw rate allowed. Loyola, with a faster pace of play compared to Dayton, faces a challenge as the Flyers excel at restricting transition opportunities. Impressively, Dayton boasts the 3rd lowest effective field goal percentage allowed in transition nationally, coupled with a top 10 ranking in limiting transition field goal attempts according to Hoop Math. Anticipating a game with a postseason feel, fueled by the presence of 2 of the top 3 defenses in the Atlantic 10, sets the stage for an intense battle. Reflecting on their previous season encounters, the 2 meetings averaged a combined 140 points, with one game falling below and the other exceeding expectations. Analyzing this season's trends, the over has prevailed in 15-11 to 1 of Dayton's games and 11-15 to 1 when Loyola is on the court. Dayton's tempo rankings, placing them at 349th out of 362 teams, and Loyola Chicago's 113th position, suggest a lack of major pace variations. In recent offensive performances, Dayton scored 75 points or fewer in 3 of their last 5 games, while the Ramblers scored 77 or fewer in 3 of their last 4. Considering these factors, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Air Force versus Utah State. The upcoming matchup features the 2-13 Air Force Falcons, who are set to embark on a journey to Logan, Utah this Friday. Their formidable opponents, the Utah State Aggies, currently lead the Mountain West Conference with an impressive 11-4 record, while the Aggies claimed victory in the initial game of the series with an 88-60 scoreline. They remain vigilant of the Falcons' prowess on the road. Notably, Air Force exhibited dominance by dismantling UNLV in Las Vegas earlier this season and securing a triumph over the New Mexico Lobos more recently in the pit. The Aggies, with the threat of Boise State looming with an identical record, find added motivation to maintain their top position in the MWC title race. The recent clash between Air Force and Boise State reflected a challenging outing for the former. Struggling to find their offensive rhythm, Air Force managed to score only 48 points, resulting in a substantial 31-point deficit. Despite the team's overall struggle, righties Petrades delivered a commendable performance, contributing 19 points and 9 rebounds. Throughout the season, Air Force has maintained an average of 67 points per game, while defensively conceding an average of 72 points. Their offensive ranking stands at 328th in the league, with the defense holding the 169th position. Ethan Taylor emerges as the leading scorer, averaging 14 points, with a shooting accuracy of 47.4% from the field and 37% from beyond the three-point line. On the contrary, Utah State enters the upcoming game riding a wave of confidence, having secured 2 consecutive victories. Their latest triumph came against Fresno State, concluding with a 77-73 scoreline. In this game, Great Osauber showcased his prowess, amassing 21 points and 11 rebounds. The Aggies maintain an average of 79.5 points per game, while their defense concedes an average of 69 points. The offensive prowess positions them at 52nd in the league, emphasizing the need for a strong offensive start in the upcoming clash. Utah State boasts an impressive 12-1 record on their home court this season, establishing themselves as a formidable force in the West. Recent victories over Boise State and San Diego State at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum highlight their dominance. In the last 4 encounters against Air Force on their home turf, the Aggies have emerged victorious each time, dating back to the 2020 season. The average winning margin during these matchups stands at 23.5 points, comfortably covering the spread. Anticipate another strong performance from the Aggies as they aim to secure the cover once again. Examining the adjusted efficiency margin on Ken Palm reveals a notable 23-point spread between the 2 teams, without accounting for home court advantage. Additionally, Great Osauber showcased his best performance of the season in the previous encounter with the Cadets, scoring 32 points and grabbing 9 boards. Utah State's exceptional 63% field goal accuracy in that game, coupled with stifling Air Force's 14% three-point rate, resulted in a convincing 28-point victory, covering the 6.5-point spread. As Utah State enters this game tied for first place in the Mountain West standings, the competitive landscape remains tight, with 6 teams within 2 games of each other. The Aggies have consistently demonstrated stellar basketball throughout the season, boasting a field goal accuracy of over 49%. In contrast, Air Force finds themselves as the second worst team in the Mountain West, managing only 2 conference wins. Averaging 67 points per game, the Falcons have encountered several lopsided losses. The Air Force Falcons continue to face challenges, having dropped 8 of their last 9 games and struggling to cover spreads. Utah State, highly motivated to secure first place in the Mountain West Conference alongside Boise State, has emerged victorious in 4 of their last 5 games. Moreover, a stark contrast in defensive capabilities is evident between the 2 teams. The Falcons rank among the worst defensive teams in Division I, conceding 113 points per 100 possessions and holding the 315th position in adjusted defensive efficiency. In contrast, the Aggies excel defensively, allowing only 99 points per 100 possessions. Impressively, 4 of Utah State's last 5 home wins have been by a margin of at least 19 points. Therefore, the Utah State Aggies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Air Force's recent offensive struggles, scoring under 50 points in 2 of their last 3 games, pose a significant challenge. Facing a formidable Utah State defense ranked 48th on KenPom, allowing just 99.3 points per 100 possessions, further intensifies the hurdle for the Falcons. Notably, Utah State effectively nullified the perimeter play of the Cadets in their initial encounter in Colorado, and Air Force is unlikely to find reprieve on the road. Adding to the complexity, the Falcons emerge as one of the slowest teams in the NCAA, averaging just 62.1 possessions per 40 minutes, while Utah State aggressively secures 69.8 possessions. As the season approaches its conclusion, anticipate the Aggies to control the tempo, securing a substantial double-digit lead. Thus, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.